Gempadi Sangye Shindu Mite Owargi Jokunanda Shingma Juparsho Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kandiya Dayani
Sangye
Chedang Soki Chognamla Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kyatsuchi Daki Chenyen Gibe Sunamki Drola Pinchir Sangye Juparsho
Sangye
Chedang Soki Chognamla Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kyatsuchi Daki Chenyen Gibe Sunamki Drola Pinchir Sangye Juparsho
Sangye
Chedang Soki Chonamla Chanchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gibe Sonamki Drola Pinchir Sangye Juparsho Shogidi Shmogidi. All right then. So I'm rotating through editing your text, okay? Because in the time I have after you give them to me, it's impossible to edit all of them. So I just take the person who got the least editing last time. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I caught up Allison, I caught up Stanley, I caught up Ben, and I caught up Nagarjuna. And I didn't catch up Kamala Shila, and I didn't catch up Illumination, the True Thought. And I didn't catch up Yunse out of the books I'm doing. And then, but I am trying to catch up Nick. So, you know, we would like to give Dr. Wu as much as we can. So I've been holding off on sending him stuff, and I've been holding off on printing it to impress the people downstairs because I want to finish Nick's text. I have a few more pages to go. Okay, it was extremely difficult. His were extremely difficult. So I even got to a part in Gyaltsab I had to. That's like I really don't know. I gotta come back to this. So anyway,
still gotta glance at my corrections.
Never really happens to me. Yeah, I have to do that. Okay. So anyway, I also went back and added all the Sanskrit as much as we have of the Abhidharma, and I added all the Sanskrit as much as we have to Nick's text, which is about a third or half. I don't remember.
About a third.
It's about a third. Yeah. And those are parts of the 60 verses that were quoted elsewhere in Sanskrit. So 60 verses, I believe, is just missing. But it was quoted in ancient Sanskrit books. So someone in Beijing went through and took out those pieces, which is very helpful.
Same
Oh, Mr. Ye, number 2. Is that person still around?
I think so. Do you want to contact him?
Wouldn't it be interesting to invite him one day?
That would be cool.
That'd be really cool. Why don't you check it out?
Okay.
Yeah. He found alternate Tibetan translations.
Wow. Yeah, he must be working hard.
Yeah.
He must be a good man. So then Nick decided that we misnumbered it. It's supposed to be 60 verses. And then Nick pointed out to me that everybody else numbers it. They don't number the praise of the Buddha.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, you get 60 verses, which kind of makes sense, because it's called the 60 verses. And what's the last verse?
Gewadi.
Yeah, Gewadi, Gewokun is the last verse of his book. And I was trying to sell it as an amazing 61st verse. But anyway, we decided to go back, and I decided he was correct, which just happens once in a while. Wow, he looks pretty smart.
1978.
Oh, really?
What year?
1978.
Wow, he's a kid.
I like that 78 people are kids, yeah. Yes, I'm 79.
He's in Beijing.
Yeah, we should invite him. So anyway, let's fly him here someday.
It's been in India also
Wow.
and Japan.
Oh, so anyway, we renumbered everything. The whole thing took a lot of time. And then we put in the Sanskrit. And then I'm splitting up the Sanskrit in a unique way to make it easier for people to pick out words. So as far as possible, I'm splitting it, okay? Like Tattva Darshana is traditionally put together, but in compound. But it's more interesting for a reader if they can guess what's the word for dustness and what's the word for seeing, you know. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to go quickly. What was the other comment I want to make?
Report.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to the progress report and then I'll come back here. So his book is going to be 2 pieces, right? We have Gyaltsab J's commentary on the 60... Oh, no, sorry, not yours.
Huh?
His is 2 pieces.
This
yeah.
one has notes.
By Gyaltsab J?
Yes, on the teaching that Jason Kappa gave.
Separately.
Yeah.
And yours has notes, or not, I forget.
Mine is the commentary, the auto commentary.
Yours is the notes.
The annotated comments on the auto commentary.
By whom?
Jason Kappa, and Fearless Blade.
Oh, okay, so I was confusing you two guys.
Okay.
Yeah, Gyaltsab J did sit in a teaching by Tsongkhapa
Yeah.
on the 60 verses, and he wrote separate notes to that. So we are attaching them to these translations, right?
So that's the plan.
So this translation, instead of being 33 folios, becomes 44 folios, because his notes are 11 folios.
Cool.
So we have 34 folios to go. If we keep at the same rate, it will take us to the end of 2022 to finish. We could possibly 4 years, 19, 20, 21, 22. End of 22.
Okay.
I did it on my fingers, so I'm sure. Because I was confused, you know. Anyway, if we speed up a little bit, we might be able to finish in 2021. Okay. All right.
We spent a better part of a term just trying to figure out what book we were using.
Yeah, it's true.
That was the first term, yeah. But we tried to do a different book at first.
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, we tried the first term. We tried to do a different
Which term?
Nagarjuna text. We tried to do something straight from Nagarjuna, and we
I
were
don't
like
remember.
lost.
Yeah.
And then we decided to
You
find
could
a
only find
different
it in
text.
Chinese or something.
Oh,
It's
okay.
funny.
I don't remember. Anyway, okay.
Blocked it out.
Doesn't matter.
I'm going to go back.
Childbirth.
So
But it's fun.
I'm happy we did this one.
Yeah.
It's hard, though.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be a big contribution. Your text is going to be an important contribution because nobody else can translate it. It's just really hard. You'd have to know logic extremely well to deal with Gyaltsab J. So anyway, okay, so he said, those who have perceived thusness have no delusions about the world or what lies beyond, okay? Meaning nirvana, okay? They have no delusions about the world, and they have no delusions about nirvana, okay? And then we go through this part, and they're talking about okay.
As you like.
Deda papa la temba mayina, papa demba jita gyoshina. Okay, let's go back and do the whole thing. But I didn't want to read this because it's already done.
We can skip it.
Right. This is not how you speed up to 11 folios.
Yeah, they have no misperceptions about what is samsara and what is nirvana. Okay,
Yeah.
because they're Aryas. Papa la temba mayina. Now, if the Arya truth were not called Arya truths because they were taught to Aryas, then why were they called Arya truths, right?
Yep, that's the question.
Okay, no problem. We call it Arya truth because those who see them are Aryas, or because when you see it, you are an Arya. Okay, or because they're taught by Aryas. Okay, we don't call them Arya truths because they were taught to Aryas. Either they're Arya truths because they were taught by Aryas,
Or make you an Arya.
or they make you an Arya. Okay. And then if it weren't that way, Papa Kola Dubna. If they are only make sense to an Arya, then it'd be incorrect to talk about the 8 Arya expressions.
Just using the word. Jhana can only be discussing things that higher beings.
Because in the normal everyday world, we refer to things as Arya expressions when they are accurate. Okay, and then that gets off on some other thing that we talked about it. And it's basically, is it where you see something and you said I saw it, and I thought something and I thought I saw it?
Exactly.
Yeah, and actually those have nothing to do with Aryas as Aryas. They're just saying they're correct.
Yep.
It's just Arya in the sense of accurate, okay?
Actually, in section 204,
Yeah.
the third line,
204.
is,
Oh, there's a P in there.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Let's just sneak it out. It maybe just went in by
Yeah,
accident.
that wasn't
somewhere.
there during my training.
Okay.
I would've-
Okay, we're ready to start in term 7. Go ahead.
Dungyo yang mi tak so chita hak pe tempa te ta te tarne ki chang te so su kun so tu mine so.
Yeah, so Dombadang me. Mita dunga Dombadang me. Mita dunga Dombadang. Sang de tak. Okay. Dunga yang mita so jitar parpa tembata. Detar ne ki means they are really that way. Okay, that's an idiom. They are that way. Not that they reside that way or something like that, okay? They are that way. As an Arya teaches the facts of suffering and impermanence, okay? So these are referring to the 4 they're called Chinji Lokshi, the 4 total asshole, what's it called? Ass backwards, sorry. And it's a perfect translation because it means 180 degrees wrong. It doesn't mean 10% wrong, 20% wrong. It's the complete opposite, okay? For example, when you say the bathroom's really clean today, according to Buddhism, it's 180 degrees opposite. It was unclean when the building was built because it's part of samsara. Okay, to call it clean bathroom, according, if you speak strictly Buddhistically, there's no such thing. And it's 180 degrees wrong. It is the most unclean thing in the universe. When it was built, before someone pooped in it. You see what I mean? It's samsara. Don't call samsara clean, okay? Got it? So there's 4 of them. One is, there is some happiness in the world, okay? One is some things are clean, some things have a self, and things do last for a while, okay? And those are called Chinji Lokshi. They're just wrong, okay?
Okay. And he just names a couple here.
Yeah.
Tsang De Sok. When he says Tsang De Sok,
I was afraid you're gonna say Sang Tak Tak.
Pleasure and changing.
Yeah, Tak Sang De. Tak Sang De. And Dak. Tak Sang De and Dak. And I forget the order, but that's the Shinji Lokshi.
These are these
Famous. They're like famous.
okay? Versus the 4 seals.
I know.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was thinking. Nirvana's peace. So,
Oh yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, as far as Dungyang, right?
yeah.
Even if you're talking about the Arya truth of suffering, okay? Then if you say things are impermanent, things don't last forever, okay? Then you can say that when an Arya teaches it that way, it is that way, okay? But the concept, as a concept, things being clean, Zhang means specifically clean like laundry, or happiness, they don't even exist deceptively, okay? There is none. You see, it's a exaggeration for effect, the hyperbole,
Uh-huh.
right? So you can say, if an Arya says everything is pain, you can say that that's the way it is.
Mhm.
But if the Arya uses the word clean, it's not even deceptively true.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't even have deceptive existence, because there is no such thing as clean. Okay, so he's playing with deceptive in the sense of is the way it looks and isn't the way it looks. And he's saying the concept clean is out of the both categories. You know, it's not even deceptively there. It was never there. It could not be there.
Okay.
There's no such thing.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
don't talk to me about Kunzum Demba or Dindan Demba about clean, because it don't exist in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Gyaltsab-je. Okay,
Yeah.
it's
That's-
difficult.
I'm trying to understand how this relates to what we were just talking about.
He's talking about Aryas and truth and mistruth, and
Yeah.
you know, as if, you know, if they use the word clean,
Because I don't
we're
think
trying to decide. Yeah, everyday people use the word pakpa to
Higher.
say that things exist in truth. Okay.
Yeah.
As they seem to be, okay,
Yeah.
and then
He just busted out the word clean out of nowhere.
yeah, and
Wow.
he's referring to those four, famous four, and he says, look, there's certain things that I even object if you say they exist deceptively.
Yeah.
That's all. Although traditionally we would accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the concept of clean exists, but it's not what it seems to be. That's all. Okay. So to an Arya, does cleanliness exist?
Cleanliness exists, but not. Well,
Well, he's saying he's exaggerating.
you're right.
Okay, it doesn't even exist deceptively speaking. Okay,
Yeah.
sit with it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Te taryang dralpat te la chinchilo ni dewa la sopa ni tu tsimpa pa kangyin pa te kun so tu yang da ni ter nubo te nampar mi nepa ni ki chiro.
Okay, good. The quotation is spread over two parts. Okay, so that's why my notes don't come right away. Okay, so Detayang Jalpar, the commentary, which happens to be Master Chandakirti's, which I believe is the only commentary in the Tengyur to this book.
Yeah.
Okay, is by a cool guy, Chandakirti. Okay, so he chose to write a commentary on this text. Yeah, and that, you know, in your old age, you can translate that. That's short,
Oh, that's cool.
I think. Anyway, Dedayan Delbar, in the commentary, it says, De la Chinji Logni, and that's again, I said Chinji Lokshi, you see? They're known as the Chinji Lokshi.
Okay.
The 4 hours backwards.
Yeah.
It means completely backwards, completely wrong, okay? The diametric opposite.
Yeah.
Okay. Dewala sopa nidu zimba kayambade. If you take things as being pleasure, etc., what's the other ones? Pleasure,
Lasting forever.
lasting,
Purity. Pure.
clean,
Yeah, or cleanliness.
and having a nature.
Self.
Okay. So the etc. is the other 3. Okay. Which is no, it's the same. Clean,
Right.
lasting,
Lasting.
and has its own nature.
And pleasure.
Has its own
And
nature.
happiness.
And he only mentioned here pleasure. Then he said la sopa. Okay. He assumes you know the other chinji looks. Okay. Nidizimba, if you take it to be that, that exact thing,
If you take chinchilla to be that.
happiness itself. No, the chinjilo consists of, anyway, but when you take things to be that way, kanyam bedeni, kun zoptu yang,
Even if, even deceptively.
yeah, even in a deceptive sense, they don't exist that way. Okay, so normally we say everything exists deceptively. The cup exists deceptively. Why? Why?
Because you're projecting it from your seeds.
Why deception?
Because you don't think you're projecting.
Yeah, what's a deception is it looks like it's coming from its own side, but it's really not coming from it. There's a discrepancy. Okay, deception going on. It's tricking me. Okay, so he says in the case of pleasure, that doesn't even exist in a. You might want to say, what's the other word for?
Conventional.
In a conventional way. It don't even exist in a conventional way, you see. And don't forget, he's coming off of these subjects of an argument that both sides can see in the same way.
Right.
You see, don't forget he's coming off at that. You know, is there any subject, and you know, can there be a common object of two human beings who have different seeds? You know, do we ever see the same cup?
No.
You know, it's a whole question. It's been going this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how he got off on the Madhyamika, and we just came back. Lashaw the young, not even deceptively does it exist in and of itself. Dagni there, okay. Number it isn't really that way. It doesn't sit that way, meaning in reality. That's that idiom, number minepa.
So the Ngopo is connected to Dagni there. Is it Dagni there?
In reality, it's almost like bhava. You see, he's writing in Sanskrit, right?
Yeah.
So it's
right.
there ngopo de number minepa. That thing. Here it's just general thing. There ain't no thing that really is there in that sense, even deceptively. Because normally we would say it is there deceptively. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But not that it's happy. Not that it's. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chinchimalo pani dunya wala sopani dunzin pate ngopo te kunzob tu ta ni ter yepa niki chiro shisun so.
Yeah, but when you flip the chinji logs,
Yeah.
those exist.
Like suffering and stuff.
Right.
Are there clean things in the world?
Nope.
No.
No, in normal terms.
Sure.
Normal people. Nagarjuna said, I follow farmers. Whatever farmers say, I agree. And they're very famous.
Yeah. You're equivocating with the meaning of clean.
Yeah.
No, but in general, can we say clean?
Yeah.
If you.
Yeah, I mean, going to the, you want me to make the bathroom not clean?
Now you mean.
And
do
you
they
go
have
in there.
choice on them? Not do they
Wait,
have
I'm
mental
not getting
afflictions?
somewhere. Is there a clean in the world? Yes. Does it exist self-existently?
No.
Did I pee-pee in the... Did Phil pee-pee or someone pee-pee all over the floor?
Again, this happened?
Who's responsible for it?
I think Bill.
Benjamin Franklin said, those present are never without excuse. Those absent are never without fault. But anyway, is there a clean? In the world, generally. Yeah. Does it come from its own side? No. So in normal Madhyamika language, we say it does exist, but deceptively, because it looks like it's coming from its own side, but it's not coming from its own side.
Right.
So it does have a deceptive existence, but it doesn't have a true existence. Okay. Now, if I say some relationships in my life will last for a while, does it exist?
No.
Yeah, not even deceptively. And he's playing with two different meanings of deceptively. He's equivocating. He's two different meanings of deceptive. It does exist deceptively.
Sure.
Now if I say everything in my life sucks, okay, does that exist
Deceptively.
deceptively?
Yeah, it does. Here it does. Yeah.
Both deceptively.
Yeah.
You see?
Both deceptively.
You see what I mean? That's not wrong on any level.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, got it? That's all. Out of the chinji logs.
That's what he's saying.
Out of the 4 chinji logs, okay? Dungawa lasok, ni de zimba, guns of the day, yippa. It's there.
Yeah.
But pleasure, mine, is not there.
Yeah.
In the second deceptive, even in no way is pleasure there. Okay? Okay? all pleasure is really pain. It's deceptive in a different way.
It's the same.
We're not talking about its self-existence or not self-existence. You see, it's not what it appears to be.
Right.
But we're not talking ultimate or non-ultimate or blah blah. Okay, that's all.
It's a much baser form of.
Why is he talking about this? Yeah, it's a baser form of deception. Why are we talking about that? We're trying to get to what is Arya.
Right.
You know, what is it to perceive things correctly?
Okay.
And then the guy's like, do they teach the Chinchiloks? Yeah. Do they say pleasure? Yeah. Why do they use words that don't exist? Okay?
Because they're teaching.
They're using the word pleasure, which doesn't have a referent. It's like saying bukajuk. You know, there's no thing that the word refers to. He's like, what do you mean, are you? What do you mean you saw everything correctly? Then you talk about pleasure. When they say all pleasure is pain. That's really mean to pick on him for that. You see? He's the one who's trying to say there's no pleasure.
Right.
But when he uses the word pleasure, the other guy jumps on him.
Right. And they're using the word kunsub here that doesn't.
Yeah, in two different ways.
Or just in one way, which doesn't relate to deceptive reality, right?
Exactly,
He's not
exactly.
using the word kunsub
Yeah,
in a way that
exactly.
relates to deceptive reality at all.
He's calling the opposite of the Chinjilok deceptive.
At which point does he use it?
To appear to be pleasant, to appear to be
right.
clean,
He's
to
going
appear
back
to
to
last
himself.
for a while, and to appear to have any nature on its own side. Well, the fourth one is kind of
He's not
He
really.
shared.
says suffering does exist. Kunzai.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, at that point, I guess. But no, is he talking about deceptive reality, or is he talking deceptively in the sense that?
No,
No,
he's
you're right.
talking
That-
about-
that clean
you're right,
things-
You're right. He's
Yeah.
equivalent.
When you get to the fourth one, it's
Yeah,
a little tricky. But the first three are deceptive on two levels. Okay, got it? Anyway, then I cut it out for you, and I put it in a different font so you easily recognize it.
I like that.
Pop
Thank
that
you.
on the website,
I like
Yeah.
that. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so go. This is not easy, as you may have noticed.
Dini kang ta chung or yepa kunsob to yepe dun dok to j shing dra shen juki kema chepar kunsob to yuna yungel dun de pe ngen tok kyang sewa yin te te ta na tang de tak ta dak kyang kunsob to yipatel chung or yipe chir takyak kelang dana lungdi selo.
Okay, dini kanda tungo yepa kunzo to yepe tendo to cheshing. Dini tungor means to a mistaken state of mind.
Oh yeah, like
Okay.
the opposite of written or?
In a way.
To the face of illusion.
Okay, this is anything which is anything. By the way, I mean it comes in somebody else's text nowadays. Whose text is that?
Boy,
Chung or?
I had a troll yesterday.
True. A few times.
It's gonna come in somebody's text. Oh, anyway, it basically came with the Churchen argument.
Oh. Okay,
You know.
whether two different mind streams can hold
Yeah.
the object.
Because the Madhyamika guy would claim. Oh yeah, it was the Madhyamika guy. Sema yena, truwa mayimbe makyap.
Oh, I remember. This was in the appendix.
Say it. Sema yena
If something is a valid, correct,
is an accurate perception.
Accurate perception.
Truwa mayimbe makyap.
then a mistaken, then it doesn't mean that a mistaken perception,
It doesn't mean it can't be mistaken.
it doesn't mean that it can be mistaken.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
higher middle way. I'll say it again.
Yeah, right.
Okay, sema yena, tuma mayimbe makyap. Rangula tua mayimbe makyap.
Or wall.
Okay, something can be an accurate perception and be mistaken
still be
towards its
mistaken.
object. Highest middle way.
Uh-huh.
Why? Because you're always mistaken
Because you're
towards
not
the
seeing
object.
things directly.
On one level,
Yeah.
you know. Did Phil pee in the on the floor. No, it was Geshe-la. I'm just trying to, look, I'm taking the heat.
It's even worse.
No, it was Geshe-la.
Cut that out.
Okay.
No,
No, it's Geshe-la, okay? So if I confess and I say it was me, you know, and you hear it, are you having a correct perception now?
Yeah.
Were you mistaken before when I said it was Phil? Were you mistaken?
Yeah.
No, because I didn't believe it.
No, if I really did it, were you mistaken if you believed it?
Yes.
Yeah. Now if I say, no, it wasn't him, really, it was me, then, and you perceive that statement, are you now unmistaken?
We're still confused.
Yeah, we're probably in doubt.
No, you're still mistaken. According to higher middle way, you're still mistaken because you think my pee is coming from me. No, I'm not kidding. Got it? So on one level, you're still mistaken after you corrected your mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, got it?
Yeah, on the level.
Okay. So,
This will be in the history.
Dini Kanda Tungo Yopa.
Put that in your quiz now.
The
I
order
guess
of
you
Tibetans.
trusted what he said.
Okay, Dini Kanda Tungo Yopa. So, I ask you, if something exists to a mistaken state of mind, does it exist or not?
Not ultimately.
Geshe-la peeing in the room, in the bathroom. It existed.
Just depends.
It just didn't exist the way you thought it did. It was there, but it was coming from you.
Yeah.
Now, how you did that is amazing. Okay, so is it enough? Can we say something is deceptive when it's appearing to a mistaken state of mind?
Hear it any-
I mean,
Is that the meaning of deceptive?
No.
Let's say your first perception that it was Phil. Was that pee-pee appearing to a mistaken state of mind?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that what we mean by deceptive reality?
No.
That's all. Go there. Okay.
The discrepancy is a mistake. Discrepancy.
But there's bigger discrepancies than Phil and Mike. Okay. There's bigger discrepancies going on. So kunzop to yube tundong to che. If we say that's not what it means to be deceptive, okay? To exist to a mistaken state of consciousness is not what it means to be deceptive. Tundong. Okay.
Where does it say not? Oh, machi.
Dog means not.
Ah, no.
Deny.
Yeah.
Dog means to deny. Okay.
Okay.
We just had it, somebody just had it. Who had it? Today, I think.
We just had dog. Yeah, I want to say yesterday too.
No, we haven't had one in mind.
I think it was your book.
No, it was today, right? You doing it? Sugang.
No,
Then
You're not thinking of Lok and Chichi Lok, right?
no.
I remember Dokian today.
Anyway, somebody has some dogs.
Maybe it was a loke.
Anyway, it means to deny.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got it. I didn't
Okay, dog. To chasing. Darshe juki kema chepa.
Josh is a word.
Darshe juk means, darshe means literal. Okay, so it's talking about the application of the word deceptive. Okay, darshe juk. Does it apply literally? Are you deceived when you think pleasure is pleasure? Are you deceived? Does the word deceptive apply correctly when you think something is pleasure and it's really pain? Can we call it deception?
Discussing that.
We
Yeah.
could, in general.
We
But
could.
is it deception that we're really mean?
Not when we're middle
Yeah,
people.
no. Okay, that's all. So dashe juk means does it apply literally? Yeah, that is deception,
Yeah,
but it ain't the deception we're talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Juki, kema chepa, you have failed to make that distinction between the two deceptives.
Right.
The guy's trying to say, do Aryas ever do deceptive things? Do they ever,
Say stuff.
say deceptive things? And he says, they do. Why? They use the word pleasure. Yeah, so they're in the deception. We said, come on, that's not what deception means. That is a meaning of deception. It seems clean, it's not clean. But that's not what we mean by deception. We mean your state of mind is mistaken towards the nature of the object. Okay? I mean the deep nature of the object. How's that? Okay. Machepa. Kunzop to yuna. And you are thinking that if a thing exists deceptively, it's a contradiction to believe that
That it exists.
Yeah. We Madhyamika people say something can exist deceptively, but it still exists. Okay? You guys think if it's deceptive, it can't exist at all. We don't say that. You know? Okay? And that idea that if it existed in a deceptive way, it would have to be non-existent is a niento. It's a sucky idea. Okay, it's a very harsh word in philosophy. Niento means crappy idea. Yeah, okay.
And if that's true, then you must think that cleanliness, happiness, unchangingness, and a self exists deceptively.
I heard yento.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, this is, now, I don't know, this is going to get tough. Well, it already got tough. Niento kyang selwa. We are dispelling this notion, this lousy idea that if something exists deceptively, it can't exist at all. Yeah. We seek to dispel this idea. Okay? Detana. Okay?
Yeah.
And as such, detana, as such. Here's the four.
Yeah.
Chenji logs. Sang de tak tak. And that's the correct order. Okay. Tsadi tak tak. Kyang. Kunzo to yoba tao.
While they do
Kunzo to yoba tao.
they do exist deceptively.
Which is not what I was hoping he would
They do
It's
accept.
confusing
They
considering
do exist deceptively.
to
Tungor
a
yobe
mistaken
chir.
state of mind.
I wish you would have said trupe tsima. Chir takyap kelang. Lung di selo.
Which accepts permanence.
Okay, if you say, let's go to the last part, which is easier. And maybe that'll help us with the earlier part.
Is this a different spelling of cell? Like,
It is, it normally would have been SEL.
yeah, or
No, GSAL is an adjective. Clear, light, usel, for example. Busel means to clear away.
okay.
And SEL is even clearer as a verb, as a transitive verb, to clear it away. It doesn't mean to shed light on, okay? But here it means to eliminate, okay? To selwa, like ne selwa, to eliminate disease in the body. Okay, so anyway, if you say yes, this quotation contradicts you. Lungdi. What is this quotation?
Master Chandrakirti.
Yeah, and what did Chandrakirti say?
He said
He's pointing out there's two kinds of kunzo.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Tungor yopechen ta kyap kelang. If you agree to that, you contradict.
If you agree that these exist deceptively.
That's what I can't figure out.
Yeah,
Do not lung
That
di
would be
sala.
good. That's what I want him to mean.
Sounds it.
It's kind of tough. Would we say
You'd have to say.
cleanliness, happiness, lasting for a while, and having its own nature, do they exist or not?
No.
Do they exist even deceptively?
No.
But he's saying they do.
No, he's saying if you say that this scripture contradicts you.
Yeah,
But
okay.
what is the kyang doing there though? Isn't it would be even though?
Say again, Kyung?
The kyang?
Among all the things in the universe, these four also exist. Kunzo.
Not even though.
Okay. Are you telling me that? Why? They also exist to a mistaken state of mind. Just because we said some things can exist to a mistaken state of mind and still exist, doesn't mean that everything that appears to a mistaken state of mind exists.
Right, yeah.
Don't come giving me a don't come giving me a dark droop. Okay.
Exist
That's
because
cool.
they exist in a mistaken state of mind.
Yeah. That's
right.
cool.
Okay.
Right.
That's not what we said. Okay.
Yeah,
We didn't say because it exists to a mistaken state of mind, it exists.
that's pretty strong.
Okay. We said even though it appears to a correct perception, which is ultimately speaking mistaken, it can still exist in a deceptive way. Okay, got it?
That feels good.
Yeah.
But it's extremely tricky. I mean, he's incredible.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I mean, that's going to be very difficult to translate correctly. Good
Yeah.
luck. Okay.
Subtle in the way.
And you know, sometimes you just say, I need to sit with this, you know. It has to cook in my brain unthought about.
Subconsciously.
No, and you'll come back to it and you'll say, oh, okay.
Yeah. I used to do that with my
The, upon first seeing, you cannot understand Gyaltsab J.
Yeah.
Don't get stressed about it.
Oh,
Say, okay,
too late for that.
I got a virus in my head. Let it grow while I'm taking care of my dog and building my fence and building my yoga studio. You know, just say I'll let it cook for a while.
Yeah.
Leave it in the
And the second time you come back to it, you're just like, oh yeah, that's what it means. Okay.
leave it.
But sometimes on people like this, don't get frustrated if you don't understand the first time. And don't insist that you have to know it the first time.
Yeah.
You just waste your time. The frustration will make it even more unclear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried that route too already.
Okay, here we go.
Nipani. The part in bold here. Nipalam tak pe masipatang te pa niso.
Yeah, I think it's worth going back to where we are. Just to check in, where are we? Okay. The whole thing, okay, this is the general category.
The whole thing.
We are refuting
Oh yeah.
proofs in favor of the two extremes.
That wasn't that long ago.
First, we will show to the Hinayana guys, when they try to say things really exist, we'll say your own scriptures deny that, okay? And then we say if you hold those viewpoints, you'll never get to nirvana.
Yeah.
Okay, not possible, okay? So we are inside of the second one. If you hold those viewpoints, you will never get to nirvana. That had two parts. There are some things that, if an Arya doesn't see it, it must be wrong. That's the point, okay?
Yep.
Okay. And
How that is correct.
why is it that if an Arya doesn't see it, it must be wrong? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's where we are now.
Yeah.
Why is it that if an Arya doesn't see it, it must be wrong? Okay. Now, and we divided it into this. Chibala Mangepa.
Yeah.
If you use this argument
Presented to a Chiva.
to people who haven't seen emptiness, it's not a good reason because the reason doesn't always prove the quality you think it does. And we're going to deny that you would ever teach it. You would ever try to present it to an Arya, okay?
Oh, okay. So the way I translated it there is wrong. I was saying if they're presented to a realized being, the reasons are wrong.
Oh, well, right now we're kind of morphed to things are not Pakpe Demba because they were taught to Pakpas. That's what it really means. Okay? So I mistranslated it too.
Okay.
Okay. What it now means is things aren't Arya truths because they were taught to Aryas.
Right.
There's two other reasons why they're Arya truths. What?
They make you into an Arya
They either make you into an Arya or
because Aryas see them directly.
yeah.
Or
And we like the second one.
teach them.
Yeah, teach them. Have seen them and teach them. How's that?
Yeah.
Directly. Okay, we tend towards the second one. And when I teach
Right.
what's Arya truth mean, I say because an Arya saw it.
Right.
Okay. And that's the traditional explanation.
Cool.
Okay. It's not that Buddha decided to just teach it to Aryas.
Right.
That's not what made it the fourth truth.
Yeah.
Okay, got it?
Wouldn't you have to say only Arya could teach it properly or something?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. By the way, I always put this where there's no Sanskrit, just so I remember to not go looking for it.
I will. From now
And
on.
we had a mislead. We got excited because we thought we found the Sanskrit, and someone has published the whole thing with parts that they reconstructed, which is illegal in this school. Okay? I don't care if you think that's what the Sanskrit was, and I don't care how good your Sanskrit is. It's not useful. You just leave the Tibetan, because you're translating the Tibetan into another language. Why waste our time, you know? Don't tell me that's what the Sanskrit was. You don't know. You see what I mean? And I'm not going to put it in my book, you know, okay? Because what happened was some guy, what was his name?
Let's just call him Venerable Phil.
No, this was 100 years ago. Some guy reconstructed the whole Abhidharmakosha. And then Tucci, who was the student of my teacher's best friend in Italian, he got on a donkey and rode to the Patala Palace and found it.
The original Sanskrit.
Yeah, so the guy wasted his whole life.
Wow.
You know, he just sent it to him. He said, yeah, the next morning it became, no one bought the book anymore. Okay, so don't waste your time. You know, I don't care if that's what you think it is. Yeah? Okay. Anyway, here we go. Please read.
1
Si
minute.
patang ni nyangende, nipo di ni yamayin.
Translate just so we can have an exciting start to the next class. Is that, what? How much time I got?
1 minute.
Okay, we can do it.
This life, nyangende, nirvana. Si patang. Oh. Samsara and nirvana is probably what he's saying.
Yeah, Sansara and Nirvana.
Nipo.
Both of them, Yomayin.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Yeah, by the way, in colloquial, we say Yomayin for no reason at all. We don't say Yumayin. We say, hey, Yomayin. It ain't, don't exist. Okay.
Neither the suffering life nor no.
Yeah, there is no Sansara and there is no Nirvana. Very famous quotation. Look, there's no Sansara and there's no Nirvana.
Oh, I have a question.
Let's go one more sentence.
Okay.
Just for fun, okay? And I'm just going to translate, okay? You ready? Here we go. Korwa dan yangan ne de parangi tseniki dubna. If Sansara and Nirvana existed in and of themselves, okay? Then Parpe Nyamshake Sikpa Rikna, it would be right, it would be proper for them to be seen by an Arya who's seeing emptiness directly, because they would be ultimate reality.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
If they exist in and of themselves,
Yeah.
then they are ultimate reality. And they should have been seen by an Arya while he's in the direct perception of emptiness. Okay? Got it?
You can have the opposite argument too.
All right, now let's keep going.
Yes.
See, okay, okay. Even though that's correct, but because they don't exist in and of themselves, Sugnyan Shin, they are like a reflection in a mirror. They are not what they look like when the baby tries to touch the person in the mirror, okay, and takes it to be a real person. To see that these two have no nature is not to see that they exist by definition. Otherwise, people with cataracts, okay, would also be seeing emptiness. Let's go back to that. Okay. Okay.
It must be.
I don't know.
Like diamond cutter cataracts?
I don't know.
So for some reason, Geshe, your version of this file has Spanish as its language.
Yeah,
Perfecto.
I know.
Not
I noticed that. Sometimes it was making accents on stuff. How do I change that?
select all.
Wait,
Then
do
go to tools,
Apple A.
whatever you,
118.
and then
Wait, let's do it again. Select all.
yeah,
Command A.
Correct.
yeah,
Command A. Okay. Then
tools,
Tools. Got it.
Language.
Language,
Language. Click.
click,
Correct.
Mine's Chinese.
Mine's English.
And now,
Uh,
clear the box at the bottom that says detect language automatically.
Okay.
Now say okay.
Okay.
Yay.
And we did it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it was making weird tildes and stuff. I don't know. Maybe because he speaks Spanish.
Maybe, but
Probably.
somehow on my computer it's not. I don't know. I just downloaded a new version.
No, it could be something I did. But it didn't happen.
It started with Seiji's text has been infecting things for some reason. No, I don't.
So we
mean
got to
like
build a
Seiji's
wall
doing
at
it.
the border.
Seiji's gonna pay.
Yeah,
Seiji's gonna pay
6.5 billion, right?
for the wall.
6.5,
I
right?
thought it was 5 billion.
I thought it was 1.4.
Shall we? Thank you guys.
I'm not satisfied with it, and I think we should just review it next time.
Cool.
Just go through it one more time quickly,
Okay.
because I'm not satisfied with it.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
I noticed that over the first couple times, I think you translated or left my translations a few times of Yangde as Nirvana. But I know that we're in general trying to avoid any Sanskrit, and I've been translating it as like the state beyond grief or.
No, Nirvana's better.
Nirvana?
It's an English word now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And a perfume.
But samsara we will not use.
No, it's not an English
Okay.
word. Do the waiter test.
Yeah. I'll ask all my waiters and waitresses.
I would just say suffering life or
Yeah.
life of pain.